Hey, hello. This is your old buddy Reverend Bill on a Friday night. Got my Celtics shirt on because the Celtics are going to be playing tonight. I think they're playing the Hornets. But as soon as this is over, I'm going to have a nice, relaxing evening watching that. Hopefully, they're going to pull this one off. They did lose one the other day to Indiana, but I still think they're the best in the league. So, I was thinking, I'm kind of a Christian man, and I've been so mean to the Democrats and the liberals lately that, we have to understand that they're people too, and we're all children under Christ. And maybe I've been a little bit harsh on them, making fun of them, Kamala, calling her camel toe, and that's not very Christian of me. So, what I think I'm going to do is today do this little twist. I think I'm going to find that rare nugget in the Democratic Party that is one of those rare breeds. Every generation or so, there's a political figure that stands head and shoulders above the rest. You might be familiar with people like such, Abraham Lincoln would perhaps be one of those. Maybe Thomas Jefferson. Um, Certainly, FDR. Some would say JFK. Well, we have one in our midst right now who's getting kind of a bad rap. And I think probably one of the geniuses of politics today. And she goes by the name of AOC, brilliant, brilliant woman who graduated with a degree in economics. And she's been under fire for some things, and I think we need to be a little forgiving with her. I thought we'd just kind of like touch on what are some criticisms they have of her, and we can look to see maybe if they're just being a little bit too mean. Let's just see this. One of the first things she did was let's call this, by the way, we'll file this under a woman for all reasons, AOC. Yes, that sounds good to me. Tax the rich. That's what she wants to do. Okay. So the first one is, I'm sure everyone knows about this one. It was her nixing the deal with Amazon. They were proposing to bring into a district a company branch, or I'm not sure it was a warehouse or a factory, but they were bringing in business to her district, and they were going to bring in $30 billion, and I don't know how many jobs. I guess they were saying something like 30,000 jobs or something. They wanted in return, which is not unheard of, a tax break of $3 billion, which, considering the money they're going to be pumping into the economy and all the jobs they'd be producing, you would think this was going to be a good thing. But AOC was right on top of things there. You see, she nixed that. She said that virtual $3 billion tax cut can be spent in better ways. Now, on the surface, it would make you think, well, there is no $3 billion. That was going to be a tax cut. You probably aren't going to be able to do anything with that money because it doesn't exist. It's like a coupon that you don't use. But she outsmarted everybody. She was one step ahead of everyone, and she closed it down and shut them out. And 30,000 people went without jobs, and $30 billion walked away for the sake of a tax cut of $3 billion. But she was smart enough because she knows that 0% of $3 billion is much better than 90% of $30 billion. So that's what the economics degree did for her there. So, hats off to her for a brilliant maneuver that no one saw coming, and they still don't understand her brilliance on that whole thing. Another thing is, she said that she would rather be morally correct than factually accurate. So many people would say, well, I'd rather have politicians make decisions based on actual facts, not biased personal feelings. But no, she knows it's better that you can lie all you want as long as you can justify it morally. Who cares about, who did what to whom and facts and all that kind of stuff? Just gets in the way of your feelings and morals and your perceived righteousness. Um, yeah, facts that just get in the way. They just mess things up. Who cares? Now this is an interesting one because she's an economics major. She was in an interview and she was talking about. I believe this was during the Donald Trump's um, uh, uh, his term in office. And they were asking her about it, and they mentioned to her that unemployment is low because, and she had, well, yeah, it's low because everyone has two jobs, and they're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their family. It's pretty much a quote, by the way. Um, Now, on the surface, this would seem a little odd because unemployment has nothing to do with available jobs. There's actually a formula that I don't know off the top of my head. It's not that complicated a formula, but what it really comes down to, and it's got nothing to do with available jobs, it's got to do with how many people are looking for jobs and are unemployed. Um, so really, in the algorithm that they use on the formula, it doesn't matter whether you get 20 jobs or one, that just counts one. So multiple jobs absolutely have nothing to do with unemployment. But maybe I'm thinking she probably knows something we don't know. I mean, this woman's obviously a genius. And, she took economics, so you would think she knows more than we do. Maybe she knows something about these available jobs playing into the equation. However, I have not found anyone who can validate uh, anything regarding available jobs with the unemployment formula. It's how many people want jobs. Basically, it's how many people want jobs that can't get them. Um, but again, she's so smart. Maybe she's just one step ahead of us. Okay, now, next thing. Okay, next one is when she won her seat into the House. She said that she wanted people to be aware of two things. She wants to be inaugurated in New York City, and on day two, she plans to start signing bills. I see. Uh, so just to go over that again, she's really hitting the ground running. She wants her inauguration in New York City, and day two, she's going to want a pen to start signing those bills. Okay. Well, this is a little problematic because presidents get inaugurated, not representatives of the House. So doesn't seem to really doesn't really leave a lot of room for wiggle room there, does there? There's no inauguration. The president gets inaugurated. And I'm not even sure he has to say where he goes, actually. I mean, can he actually say, well, I want to go get inaugurated on the mountaintops off of the Himalayas? I don't think so. I think he's got to go to Washington, D.C., although I could be wrong. And as far as her signing bills, I guess somebody didn't watch Schoolhouse Rock when they were growing up. But the president actually signs bills and makes them law, not House representatives. But hey, we all have a bad day. Maybe she didn't know. Whatever. Now she's aware. I really hope she's just standing around waiting for inauguration, though, because that could be a long wait. I think. Okay. All right. Let's move along here. What else do we have? Oh yes, this is a good one. She presented a plan which is going to cost, I think it might have been something around a Green Deal. I'm not really sure what plan. I did see the interview, but it wasn't real clear what plan she was presenting. It was an excerpt. I got the impression it might have been something to the Green Deal. I'm not sure, though. But she proposed to a CNN interviewer a plan that was going to cost $40 trillion. And he said, over 10 years. And he said, well, how do you plan to pay for it? And she said, well, tax the rich. And he goes, well, okay, but I looked at your proposal to tax the rich, and that brings in only $2 trillion. Where are the other 38 trillion going to come from? And that sly woman, she pretended to be dumbfounded, but we know those wheels in her head were moving, boy. And I think she went on about something else, and he brought it back and said we're still looking for $38 trillion. And I think she knew where it was. She just didn't want to share with us, is what it is. So she just kind of avoided it because maybe she thought if she told everyone well, there was $38 trillion, maybe in a lockbox somewhere, someone might take it. Who knows? But yeah, so no one knows where the other $38 trillion is going to come from. Um, Now, another thing that was interesting is she was campaigning for Brett Welder with Bernie Sanders. Not sure exactly what state that was in. I could look it up, or you could look it up. I don't really think it matters all that much. Brett Welder is a Democrat, of course. And oh, this woman loves the camera. This woman loves the camera. And she got in there, she starts jumping up and down, and she said that she was really excited to be, pulling for Bill Welder, and that she was determined to flip the state red. What? Bill Welder's a Democrat. At last check, I think red's Republican and blue's a Democrat. And considering you're in the House of Representatives, I would think you'd know that. But I bet she's colorblind. That would excuse it. Yes, if she was colorblind, she probably got confused. A woman that smart couldn't possibly mix up red and blue. I mean, they're just Democrats and Republicans. Same thing, right? Okay. Later on, she was talking about the three chambers of Congress. Three chambers of Congress. And she defined them as the presidency, the Senate, and the House. Three chambers of Congress: the presidency, the Senate, and the House. I wonder, going back to grade school, maybe like third grade, I'm wondering if she meant the three branches of government, which are executive, judicial, and legislative. Maybe she did. Anyway, with that said, those were just a handful of shall we say, anecdotes that I came across today while researching the brilliance of one AOC. And I tell you, I just am dying for her to run for president. I mean, hey, if Kamala supposedly is close to the White House, I got to think AOC's got to be right there with her. On another note, by the way, all kidding aside, I'm of the firm belief that these polls are lying. I refuse to believe that Kamala Harris is anywhere near Donald Trump. I think these polls lie. I think they're trying to manipulate us. I think they're trying to fool us. I think it's going to be a landslide for Donald Trump. I just have to believe that. I know there's some blithering idiots in our country, and I know a lot of them are in office, AOC. No, but seriously, I gotta think at the end of the day that somebody who didn't get one vote, has not had any policies stated, can't answer a direct question, and picks the absolute worst running mate. The only way she could do worse if she picked a child molester or a rapist. I mean, this guy's a buffoon. I gotta think that there's no way the American public is going to buy what she's selling. I got to think Donald Trump this time next week is going to be our president-elect. God willing, he will be. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to go watch the game. If, as always, if you did like this, please share, subscribe, like. As always, if you have any comments, I would love to hear them, good, bad, indifferent. Just make sure they're respectful, and my email's on the bottom there. I do check it a few times a day. And with that said, I thank you for your time. Hopefully, if you had some fun with this, like I did, great. And if you didn't, come back tomorrow. Maybe things will change. All right, this is Reverend Bill signing off, and hope it was good for you too, guys. Talk to you later.